Xin chào. What's up, everybody? So I just had a bunch of delicious food at a Living Barbecue. That review will be up. Let's just freestyle walk. Kind of want to talk about the economy here and how devastated it is from COVID and no tourists. It's way worse than Saigon. It's way worse than Vung Tau. Way worse than Bentry. I mean, it is just... It's way worse than really anywhere else I've been, because this is a tourist. This is a international tourism town. It's a resort town. So without the international tourism, they're just devastated. Like Living Barbecue, they pretty much said business is really bad. So I mean, and that's because there's no tourists. You know, the whole staff there was really great. I can't recommend that place enough. I gave them an 8/8. You'll see the video. It'll come out before this. These videos are going to come out like 4 or 5 days apart because there's so much stuff in the queue. But yeah, really impacted from the CCP virus here. So many businesses have shut down. You know, the guys at Living were telling me before COVID, there would be a queue usually. You would have to wait 20-30 minutes to go eat there. And they haven't had a queue since COVID. Like, whoever owns the place, he's a California guy. He's super awesome to have kept his staff employed still. And there is a large staff. When I was just there was, I'd say 12 staff there. And props to him to keeping it above water and knowing that once this stupid virus is over, that business will return, because, you know, the Russians, the Koreans, the Chinese will all come back here once they can and it's opened up. And I hope that's what really happens for them, you know. These kind of places, every place I've gone to, I've been able to chop it up because they know really good English here, because it's a international tourist town. And everybody says the same thing. Business is just, you can't imagine how many bars, restaurants, hotels are closed here. It's staggering, like staggering. I think I was reading that there's 55 hotels for sale in Trang right now, if not more. A lot of the bars like are closed. A lot of the big bars just not open. They went under. It's been kind of a frustrating thing. I'll look up a bar to go to. I'll go there, closed. I'll look up the next one. I'll go there, closed, because it hasn't updated on Google yet. I don't know if they're just closing for the week and then only opening on weekends, or I don't know how that works. Also, another thing they're doing now is they're closing on Mondays. Most places are closed on, like Living Barbecue is closed on Monday because the business just isn't there. You know, I think they said I was the only customer in there today. So, I mean, it just really sucks. I mean, you'll see on our brief walk back to the hotel. I mean, we've seen dozens already of restaurants and stuff closed. Really, the guy was explaining to me the only things that are doing well are Vietnamese stuff that like Vietnamese go to. So like, you know, all Viet restaurants, etc., etc., which is kind of the same in Saigon, but it's just much more intense here, if you know what I'm saying. There's just a lot more closures here. So like, if you're in Vietnam and you haven't been to Nha Trang in a while, book yourself a trip here. Bring your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your fiance, whoever. Boys out, couple boysies. Get on out here and spend some money and help this economy out here. You know, it's a great place to stay for 3 or 4 days and help the local economy out here. This Chihuahua is just in the middle of the street. What the hell is he doing? Get back inside, Chi-Chi. You little Chi-Chi. He's barking at everything. Like, fuck. Chihuahuas love to bark. It's a trait that they all have. I don't think I've ever met a silent... Oh, he's got buck teeth too. Big old buck teeth. Overbite and buck teeth. But yeah, it's kind of pretty devastating that they're doing so much worse than almost all the other places. You know, Nha Trang is really big with Russians. I've talked about it before on some of these vlogs, but it's a really big, there's a CCCP coffee place, you know, they catered largely to a Russian market. Like, I remember when I was here 10 years ago, you would go to one of those resorts and there would be just dozens of Russians, hotties, guys in Speedos, all that. And that, you know, that's gone right now. So they're relying on domestic tourism. And I don't think there's going to be any kind of realistic tourism till next year here. So we need to get domestic traveling flowing here to help these all these businesses out. I was glad to pay full price at Living Barbecue, and I left a nice tip for everybody there. So like these cafes and stuff are going to do okay because they're catering to Vietnamese. But there's shut stuff everywhere I walk. There's just shut things. It's a real big problem here. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just randomly walking. I could be walking the right way. I could be walking the wrong way. I'm trying to look for my building. Oh, I'm so full. I need to take a nap. I ate way more food than I wanted to. I didn't even eat that much. I had, I think, 300 grams of brisket. And I had a mac and cheese, and I couldn't even finish, you know, a fraction of the mac and cheese. They were like, do you not like the mac and cheese? I'm like, yeah, I just don't eat many carbs anymore. So like, once I do eat a carb, it's like, feels like, it's really interesting to see when you cut carbs out, like how much they make you feel. Like, I feel slow and tired now, all just from carbs. Hello, girls. What's dollars? Looks like, oh, you get your eyes done there. Yeah, it's very difficult to find a bar open here. Like, that sailing club's really the only thing open at night. And they just play Vina House. They just slap in Vina House the whole time. There's a dentist, Dr. Tooth. It's down here. It looks like a market. Let's go check this out. YouTube commenters. I still don't understand making dickhead YouTube comments. I'll never understand it. I've never left negative comments on someone else's YouTube. I don't get the point. I don't know why people feel the need to leave negative shit. I mean, you can see this store's closed, this place is closed, all kinds of closed stuff. Things that are relying on tourism are disappearing at an alarming rate. Some kind of street market, I think. But yeah, to sum it up, Nha Trang is just way more impacted from CCP virus than a lot of other places in Saigon. It's like secondhand. This is secondhand. Another closed restaurant. Another closed restaurant over here. Looks like this nail place is closed as well. A lot of closed stuff. Or very limited hours to keep the overhead down. Yeah, we're definitely coming up on a wet market and a little like for sale clothing thing. Something for rent over here, it looks like. Yes. Like, a couple people are trying to take shots at me for not recommending Zavia Hotel. Zavia Hotel was terrible. There's so many issues that arose at that place. They completely false advertised it. You You know, they had all over their website 24/7 room service, bar by the pool, fabulous food, all this stuff, good buffet. The buffet was all frozen food. It was the worst food I've probably ever had in Vietnam. The kitchen closes at noon. The 24/7 room service was canceled. And like people are like, it's from the CCP virus. Every hotel is like that. Wrong. This is the only hotel that chose to shut down all of its shit. They turned off the aircon inside the hotel. Like, you literally are standing there for, I don't know, 30 seconds and you're covered in sweat. It's literally hotter inside that hotel than it is outside. The walls were paper thin. There was like this family of kids next to us. You could hear the kids getting up at 6 a.m. and running around. There were no towels in the room. When we asked to bring towels, they were like, "You really don't have towels?" They didn't believe us. They wanted to come in and check the room and make sure, yeah, we're in a wet market. Make sure that there were no towels. And then she was like, "Oh wow, there aren't." I'm like, "Yeah, well, what the hell do you think I called for?" And then on top of it, they gave us like these old haggard, raggy hand towels that like had fabric hanging off. I mean, some of these things are little things, but it just all added up to be a not good experience. And I spend a little bit of time in the hotel room, so I like to be comfortable. I'm editing and doing stuff, and you know, the TV was terrible. It was like, it looked like a VCR TV, like you were watching VCR. I mean, there were so many issues with how much it costs that this is actually a really big wet market. Yeah, it's a not recommend. You know, I even talked to the manager there, and I was like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna move. I know I got a 3-day reservation, but can you like refund the next 2 days or like half of it?" And he's like, "No." Guy was a total dick. He was like, "No." We had 2 bottles of water when we checked out. He still charged us for the water, even though we forfeited 2 days. Pretty much like $120. The place isn't cheap. I know people are like looking it up on Booking right now and are like, "It's only this price," but we were there during a holiday, so it was at peak price. And for what we were paying, it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth all the hassle. And every other hotel I've been here, everything's open. The 24-hour room service, everything's done. The aircon's on, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna pay to stay in a shitty hotel and then have shitty management, no door guy, because they wanted to cut costs. You can tell, like, the guy that owns that hotel or runs it came up with some crazy plan to try to weather the coronavirus, which I understand if there was nobody there. But like when we were there, the nights we were there, they were completely booked. Like, they had maybe 1 or 2 rooms open, so it was like at max capacity because it was a holiday. So let's go back down. I don't want to leave the market. We'll go take a left. All kinds of produce. This is just like any kind of wet market in Vietnam. So yeah, like, and the buffet was a shit show. They only have 2 elevators for like a 20-something floor place. Like, it took 10 minutes to get on an elevator sometimes, and usually the elevator was full of like 20 people. It was insane. I mean, if you want to pay for that, that's on you. But we found much nicer hotels for the same price. The one I'm in now is even cheaper, and it's like 100 times better. It's not just a little bit better, it's 100 times better. And every other place is functioning like they should. Like, sure, like during Corona and off season and when nobody's here, okay, turn the air, do all that stuff, like close the bar, all that. But when you're back in high season, which it's high season here now, and especially when you have a holiday, get your shit together, dude. Rehire some temporary staff, because even people will come and do temporary staff. It's money in pocket. Turn your aircon on for inside the hotel. Like, just a few basic things needed to be done to make it good. At this point, I sound like I'm whining, but I'm just explaining the situation. I should have shot another video there when we were leaving, but Winnie was so pissed off. To be honest with you, Winnie was more pissed with the place than I was. Like, and that never happens. Winnie's like cool with everything usually. So that goes to tell you how crappy it was. If Winnie was pissed, that means it had to be pretty bad. Winnie gets mad at like nothing. Oh, there's an indoor part of the market. We've seen so many of these markets. I can tell you what's in here. It's household goods, shampoos, soy sauce, chili sauce, stuff like this. Dishes, cookware, all kinds of things like this. But yeah, that's what happened with that hotel, Zavia. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody when there's better places for the same price. It's really that easy. And the location wasn't that good on Zavia as well. Yeah, it's just your typical, like, straw hats, all that stuff. There's a flower lady over here. And then there's always going to be around these markets the jewelry areas. So here's a jewelry store over here, jewelry store over here. That's very much how almost all these markets are, all over Vietnam, anywhere you go, if you catch my drift. Let's walk down here. Some snacks, some street snacks. That's it's like a corn dog but filled with pho mai instead. More of the jewelry out here. I'm not gonna go inside the market. We've seen inside like 50 of these now. They don't change. There is quite a large expat community here. The guys at the barbecue place were explaining to me that there used to be a shit ton of expats living here, like really had a lot. And then when COVID hit, they lost work because a lot of them were teachers and a lot of teaching jobs just evaporated. So a lot of them moved to like Hanoi and Saigon, he explained. And that took away a lot of their business. He said a lot of their businesses are, of course, foreigners and expats, which again makes sense. Another closed business. This probably used to be some kind of tea shop. Tea shops do well on corners. I think I'm walking towards the beach. I have no idea. Hello, xin chào. Oh, you want to be on camera? You're supposed to be on camera. Hello. Are you from here? Your whole life? She's like, I don't know what the hell you're saying.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to assume she's lived in Nha Trang her whole life. Going swimming. It's about that time to go swimming. They go swimming when the sun goes down and then before the sun comes up. I'm going to actually go swimming in the ocean today. Everybody's very friendly here. Xin chào. Hello. Now they're all behind me. Look, I got a whole team with me now. They're following the white man. So we must be going towards the ocean, is my guess. But there's so many closed businesses here. For every like 4 businesses open, there's another one closed. And yeah, even in Corona, I can double down on that hotel. You do your best to keep what you have. Like I said, I kind of explained it. I gave the guy at that hotel an opportunity. I'm like, look, at least refund a day or two and I'll come back when you guys like have your stuff together and I won't leave a negative review. Like, I'll give you a second chance. And he's like, I don't care. And at that point when he got like real dickish and was like, I just don't care, I don't care. I was like, okay, well, fuck you then. But that is very much how a lot of Vietnamese run their businesses. They would rather have the short-term money instead of thinking like long-term. Like bars will do this, all kinds of businesses. As long as they get their money immediately, that's all they care about. Like they can't see past like trying to create you as a return customer. It's happened to me at plenty of bars, at least 2 or 3 or 4 bars where they've ripped me off on the check and I'm like, look, I'm never gonna come back, but if you would be honest and treat me right, I would probably come back a lot. And they're like, no, we don't care. So it's just a weird way that Vietnamese do business. And it's not the right way, but you know, can I force them to listen? No. Couple little clothing shops over here. These are still doing all right. Got another something closed over here. Like a shoe cleaning place over here. Looks like. Yeah, shoe shine, clothing, ironing, hair salon. I don't know which way they're going on. Oh, here's the Sheridan. I know where we're at. It's funny, I have the whole team with me here. Where am I from? Saigon. Saigon. To live. I'm married to a Vietnamese. Va oi. Viet. Saigonese. Hi. 2 years. 2 years. Wrong. Oh, I know. So we're right here. The beach is right here. I see. I really walked completely around in the wrong direction, which is totally okay. She's on the Google Translate trying to figure out how to talk to me, which is fine. Oh, there's a church here. Very few are Christian or Catholic here. I think it's 7% or less, if I remember right. You can Google it yourself, but some guy tried to argue with me, like, I don't know, 6 months, whenever Christmas was. He's like, how dare you say that? 50% of the people. I'm like, 50%? I'm like, I've never met someone that's Catholic or Christian here. And then all I had to do was Google search, and it was like 7% or 17%. They're still working the Google Translate, as you can see. Translate's working away. They're trying to figure out what to ask me. So far, where am I from and how long I've been here. These are very typical, like, starter questions. Hello. What does it say? Can I have an American breakfast tomorrow? What does that mean? Sure, you can have American breakfast. Does she want to eat me for breakfast? I don't know. I think that translation went down wrong. The Google Translate's on fire right now. You want me to talk? Google, yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you want to talk about? What do you want me to say? Okay, one more time.
Tôi muốn mời bạn sáng mai ăn sáng, bữa ăn sáng của mình.
We're Google translating. We're getting there, guys. Kind of looks like it's gonna rain. The wind is picking up like a kind of rain. I want to invite you to have American breakfast tomorrow morning. Oh, okay. Translate for me so I can talk. I leave tonight to go to Da Nang. Oh. Where are you? Da Nang. Da Nang? Da Nang? Then Hoi An.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Vidmar here too. I didn't see this one. Do you use long? Yes. Better scan my draw up. My home. Oh, very good. Cool. Alright guys, that's the end of the vlog. I've got to do things now, so thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.